ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Hello friends, my name is Stevie Cade and welcome to Film Trigger. The movie Nope just came out this past weekend and honestly I wasn't planning to go see it. I considered it more of a wait for it to come to streaming, but then I started seeing some pretty positive reactions about it. Some mixed reactions, but positive nonetheless. So I got up this morning and went and caught an early show, and I'll tell you what, I'm very glad that I did. But before we dive into that, if you could, hit that like, thumbs up button, that subscribe button, and the little bell ding thing so you get notified every time I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's dive into my spoiler-free review for Nope.
5 stars, Angel, 5 stars.
So walking into this movie today, I was very curious about it. I wouldn't consider myself a Jordan Peele fan because I actually haven't seen any of his other 2 movies, to be honest with you. So I'm not really one way or the other with Jordan Peele. All I know about him was his Twilight Zone thing he did for a little bit. And when that came up, I was not a fan of that. So I've kind of like had that mentality of Jordan Peele took one of my favorite franchises in the world and just turned it into Black Mirror. And I just was not happy with that decision. So I've kind of stayed away from the Jordan Peele thing. So this is my first Jordan Peele movie to review. With that being said, let's dive into what I like about this film. Simply put, hands down, the 2 main actors in this movie, Keke Palmer and Daniel Coulier, they knocked it out of the park. I believe them to be siblings because just of their, well, honestly, their polar opposite nature. If you are a family that has brothers and sisters of any kind, you know that siblings are not all created equal. Matter of fact, they can be quite opposite sometimes. And that's the dynamic we have in this movie. And I really enjoyed that. You got Keke. She's this like super energetic, jack of all trades, wants to be in front of the camera, is the front man of their horse business that they have in this movie. And Daniel's character, OJ, is more subdued. It's a little bit more stoic. He's very introverted for sure. And it made watching their interaction with each other very entertaining, very genuine. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this movie was its kind of message about social media and just, well, and media in general. How people have come to have this obsession with wanting to put everything in front of the camera and promote things. Something bad in your life happens, well, scoop it up and turn it into a story and make money off of it. It kind of pokes fun back at people who want to be on the social media all the time, who want to get the most likes, the most followers, the most YouTube subscribers. Please subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button down below. Thank you. It wasn't an overbearing narrative. It was just there. It was subtle. And it was just like, yeah, it's a thing. It's a problem. Maybe we should pay more attention to life outside of the camera instead of in front of it.
There's plenty of videos of flying shit online.
Ain't nobody gonna get what we gonna get.
What we gonna get?
The money shot.
What's up?
Undeniable proof of aliens on camera. The Oprah shot.
You guys gonna tell me what's going on?
Hell no.
Also, this movie is pretty funny. The comedy is fairly subtle, but it's very effective. It's genuine laughs. It's not like, oh, we're acting wacky, kids. Isn't that funny? No, it's not weird and like trying to pull a laugh out of you. It's just genuine conversations that you're like, it's pretty cute. You get a genuine chuckle, and that happens quite a bit. Right balance for the type of movie that we're watching. Which, by the way, the type of movie we are watching is more of a thriller than it is a horror. The uniqueness of the plot and the plot's twist. Again, I'm not going to go into the plot twist. I'm not saying aliens, but you know the meme. Okay, so now you have this subject matter of what could possibly be aliens, which is, I think, fairly universal across the globe of how we all envision that sort of thing. And what this movie does, it takes a little twist to it and completely changes everything about it. I enjoyed diving into a subject matter that I'm quite familiar with, but like somehow it feels like new territory. Kudos to them for taking an old idea and turning it into a new idea. The tone of this movie is, ironically, very Twilight Zone. I'm a huge Twilight Zone fan, and as I said, I wasn't a fan of Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone TV show reboot because I think it took the family element out of it and it tried to compete with a Black Mirror show, and it just didn't work for me. This felt very Twilight Zone-esque, ish. Even the main characters have this sort of vibrancy to them that adds to this Twilight Zone eeriness. And specifically, I'm talking about Stephen Yeun's character, Ricky. He's kind of one note, but like deliberately so. Like that adds to his overall mysteriousness. You don't know if this is friend or foe or what exactly he's going to play into this movie, but that sort of vibe is what I'm talking about, that eeriness that gives me that Twilight Zone feel that I really enjoyed about this film. But we will talk more about that character a little later on in this review. Another thing I like about this movie is its suspense and tension building is masterful. Jordan Peele did a great job. Even in the slower parts, they're building tension, so the slower parts weren't fully wasted, but those slower parts are what's going to bring me on to what I'm on the fence about when it comes to this movie. The length of this movie could have been about 20 minutes shorter. Now, again, like I said, the slower parts weren't wasted. They helped with build-up and a little bit of character development and stuff like that. They just weren't filler. But at the same time, I think we could have shaved 20 minutes off this movie, tighten it up a little bit, and maybe that might be what would help keep this movie being so divisive as it is, because a lot of people are saying it's just boring. And I think if you're not paying attention to the build-up or the slight character development and you're just looking for a fun alien movie, then those slower parts will bog down for you a little bit. So that's why I'm on the fence about it. The monkey subplot. Yes, there is a monkey in this movie, and that's not a spoiler because you see a little monkey fist bump in the trailer. There you go. Monkey connection. I won't tell you the context in which this monkey is used, but I will say whenever this monkey in that subplot is in the movie, it's some of my favorite parts in the movie. Very curious. It actually plays into a lot more of the horror aspect than the rest of the movie. Parts of it are very uneasy to watch. Again, it plays into the horror aspect. So why am I on the fence about it? Well, because it doesn't pay off as a subplot. It's just there. There are some metaphoric reasonings behind it that do play into another narrative of this movie, but the actual subplot itself doesn't really need to be in there. Like, you could take that out and it wouldn't change the movie very much, and sucks because I really enjoy those scenes, but there's no payoff for those scenes. They're cool, and if you think of the metaphor, you're like, oh, okay, I get it, but like overall, because it doesn't make the landing for me, it seems like a bit of waste of time. And again, it sucks because I really enjoy those scenes. And the character that subplot is attached to is Richie. It stifled his character development as well. Nothing pays off for this character. And there could have been wonderful payoff with this character in this subplot, and I'm not sure what happened. Maybe there's something on the cutting room floor. I don't know. I feel like we're missing something there. Or maybe I missed something. I don't know. This subplot, that character, just did not come to a comfortable conclusion that I was satisfied with. And that sucks because they were good, because it was a good character and a good subplot, like I said. Michael Winod as Antlers. Yes, his character's name is Antlers. Every time this guy is in a movie, he just demands the scene. It's that voice, it's creepy, it's scary. That's why he usually plays a bad guy. And I do like his part in the movie. He's the cinematographer they used to catch this mysterious thing on tape.
I'm out here, and you're the only person in the world that can get it on film.
That cloud, he moved an inch.
It's aliens. They're just waiting for the perfect time to shove metal probes up our asses.
I'll be rooting for you.
He's got like this grit about him I really enjoy. He does add some good comedic timing, and he all around just doesn't seem like he gives a fuck, and I kind of like those kind of guys. So yeah, I thought his role was perfect for him, and I really enjoyed seeing him in that role. But once again, the little thing that he does at the end of this movie that I'm not going to dive into, but what he does, why he does it, and the result of it being done are ambiguous. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that was about. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm starting to notice a lot of things were kind of ambiguous in this movie. I don't know if that was intentional or not. As I said, Stephen Yeun's character, Richie, the monkey subplot, now this character, Antlers, they all have this ambiguous nature about them that I don't know why things ended up the way they ended up or what that means for the future of whatever this universe is. Now for the big guns. What's in the cloud? So this UFO, it's definitely one of the more fun parts of this movie, trying to figure out what this is, how it works, why it works. It also raises a lot of questions. That's why I'm on the fence about it, because there's a lot of questions that I didn't have answered. Where it came from, how long has it been there? And even more so, there's situations that happen in this movie. Again, this is in the trailer. When OJ's dad gets killed by this thing, between the time that he got killed and the time that they see it again, there should have been a huge investigation going into this just because of the nature of how he got killed.
You'll leave here different.
Pops! Pops!
Now that is spoiler, so I won't go into that. But yeah, there's a certain thing that took him out that definitely would have raised a lot of questions. Like, this shouldn't be here. What the heck's going on? Why did that come from the sky? None of these questions ever come about. Again, ambiguous. There's a lot of ambiguity. Is that how you say it? Ambiguity? I'm just one of those people, like, if you're going to give me something, then give me the nature behind it. I want to know more about characters. What, why, where, and how this thing even exists. And if you're not going to give me those answers, then set it up in a way that, like, I can make up these answers in my own head. This movie doesn't give me that. It just kind of gives me an ending, and I'm like, huh. Which is going to lead me to what I don't like about this movie, which is the ending. Again, it doesn't add up. It doesn't give me answers. Like, it seems like it tries to give me answers. Like, I don't know where these characters are going to go moving forward. It's not in a fun way. It's not in a way that I can guess where they're going to go. Like Tom Hanks at the end of Castaway when he's standing at that crossroads. That's a good ending for that character. You can be like, oh man, I bet he goes this way, or I bet he goes that way. And you come up with your own ending. This one kind of gives you a lazy ending. And then you're just kind of left with a whole bunch of questions wondering why did we do that? What was the point of this? And does this still exist? Did that affect that? Once you start diving into it, the layers really add up of like, what the fuck? The ending's just a little too abrupt and doesn't tie any loose ends. Overall, I will say that I thoroughly did enjoy this movie. It may have been slower paced at times, but again, it didn't throw away those slow moments. They were building suspense and definitely building some character development and giving you some insight into this, that, or the other. I thought it was a fun thriller. I love the Twilight Zone tone and feel that it has to it, but there's a lot of, here it comes, ambiguous.
Good screaming, everybody.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.